So I just got off the phone with one of my best friends. This bitch, for many years, right, has been telling me that she freaking hates men, right? I love her to death. And I try to associate myself with people that think similar to me. I cannot get through this bitch. I've tried for years, right? I've tried to go into, and it's so crazy because we used to talk about this stuff. I used to go off with her because I used to be stuck in that same mentality of I hate men, men suck, whatever the fuck. Girl, what does that do for us? Okay, what does that, there's so many reasons why now I'm so passionate about that damn take, because it's not true. And trust me, I've had my fair share of shitty, mean men, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired. There is no way that on this earth, every fucking person, that's like saying every woman is a thought. Every woman is a freaking whore. Every woman, is a cheater, whatever. That is not true. That is not true. So the same way that is not true for all women, how the fuck are we gonna sit here and say that all men suck? Dude, everyone sucks sometimes. Okay, we're human. We fail ourselves every damn day. So it is not like a choice that she wants to be single. Like she feels like, it is a choice, right? But she feels like she has to make this choice of staying single because of the fear of rejection, abandonment, a man that she thinks that like she can do everything perfect. If Beyonce is gorgeous and beautiful and so talented and she got cheated on, I'm obviously gonna get cheated on. That's such a low way to see yourself, because it's like, okay, yes, can we sit here and say, Beyonce, Shakira, fucking J-Lo, probably everyone in the world, has gotten cheated on? Yes, but dude, that does not mean, that isn't because like they were fucking perfect and men suck. Like the men are wired in their brain to just fuck everything up. That's not how it works, bro. Like personally, I think that they just chose the wrong fucking person. That's it. Maybe they overlooked, certain things because of their status. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z, you can't tell me she's attracted to him, bro. Like he's fucking fugly as hell. It was probably, some shit to do with a contract, with status, whatever the fuck. So I don't think she was thinking like, oh, let me see his actions. Let me see if he's a man of his word. Let me see if he, what does he think about strip clubs? What does he think about, so yeah, I'm not shocked. What freaks me out, is that I feel like on the internet, and I'm not on TikTok, right? All of my coworkers are Gen Z. They're all on TikTok, okay? And they're all guys. They all tell me what they see. And a common theme seems to be, that a lot of girls are saying that they just care about like, you gotta have a big dick, you gotta have a lot of money, you gotta have be tall as hell. I don't know how to tell you, like, normal girls, that have emotional awareness, some emotional intelligence, like they actually think about shit and they actually like have a brain and use it. That is not a priority, okay? Like, just think of someone good in general, right? Think of a person that in real life that you would claim them to be a good person. Like you would say, okay, they have a good heart. They have good intentions, whatever. I really don't think that what they look for in a partner is only what they look like and what fucking monetary value they can bring. I really doubt it, because somebody that is of good character, they're going to look for someone that also has good character, right? What is in their heart? What is in their heart? And guess what? Not every fucking person has the same priorities. Like I said, there's some people that prioritize looks maxing. There's some people that prioritize money. Like that is what is your God in your life? I think that is what we really got to pay attention and like look in these people, man or woman, whoever the fuck you are watching this, whoever you're attracted to, that is what is going to tell you so much about the person, okay? Look at what rules over their life. Do they only care about money? Dude, then probably, you're probably going to be easily discarded. Personally, I value good connections. I want people around me that are caring, loving, attentive. They actually listen and give a fuck. They're not just having a conversation with me, just waiting for their turn to speak. Like they actually listen and I listen to them and we have a good conversation, an actual in-depth, like fucking thought-provoking conversation. I think another important value is just not being a fucking victim to your circumstances. Like no one deserves anything, okay? If that were the case, like you did not deserve, I know, I'm sure you're an amazing person, but you and we don't deserve anything, okay? If that were the case, if that was the way of the world, children would not be fucking dying and having cancer and whatever the fuck. And, you know, Epstein and all the people that do all this evil shit would fucking be living in torment every day. And that's its own conversation. And I honestly truly believe that they are living in their own fucking hell. And I don't think that there's any way that they're really like truly that ignorant and like just living in their fucking evilness and not gonna get any repercussions. I don't believe that. I don't think anything in this life goes unpaid, okay? I think that we eventually end up paying all of our debts one way or another. But I think we are focusing on the wrong thing. We are constantly, dude, it took me 3 years. I've talked about this in another video. My pick me epidemic, fucking whatever the fuck. It took me 3 years to decenter men, okay? I was the same bitch. I was over here, oh, men ain't shit. You know why? Because I got cheated on. Crazy ass story. Let me tell you, I fucking did backflips when I was like 16 or 17. I don't know. I did all this shit, okay? I rearranged the fucking planets and the stars in the Milky Way. I fucking forged an address. All this shit, bruh. So I can go to another school that my boyfriend at the time went to. I didn't know anyone, okay? I supposedly was only gonna know him. The first 2 days I was at that damn school, he literally moved to another school. Did not tell me at all that he was gonna be, his mom just fucking moved him to another school knowing that I freaking literally was doing everything in my power to go to that damn school that I got rejected to. And I guilted my mom into doing everything she could because I was like, oh, well, you guys gonna give me a quinceañera and you guys are fucking separating and like whatever the fuck. That was not cool of me, okay? But life played out the way it did. I don't regret anything that happened because it's brought me to where I am now. And a lot of people that I truly, truly love and have such amazing connections with came out from going to that school, right? But at the time, you know, when I first got there, it was for my ex. I didn't know anyone. So the second day that I'm there, okay, bitch, he fucking leaves to another school. And then guess what? 2 of his friends, okay, a guy and a girl, they come up to me and they're strangers and they know my name. They're like, oh my God, Victoria. And I was like, oh my God, who are you? You know, whatever. Cause I don't fucking know anyone at this damn school, bro. And then they're like, oh, we're, you know, blah, blah, blah's friends. And I was like, oh, period. They then start telling me everything about me. They start telling me, you know, the shit that, everything that my ex thought that I was annoying. They like told me, yeah, we know that you're like religious, all this stuff. They told me all this stuff. And mind you, this was the first, I was really young, okay? This was the first time I had ever sent nudes, right? I'm not perfect, okay? I sent nudes to my ex that I thought I was gonna marry at the time, okay? Because he was my first fucking love and I like, whatever. He sent them to his friends. So think of this, okay? I'm at this school. I don't know anyone. I fucking, like I said, I rearranged the fucking Milky Way to go to this damn school for my ex. He then leaves 2 days after, okay? And then breaks up with me. I have his 2 friends, complete strangers, coming up to me, telling me everything about myself when I don't even know their fucking names, bro. And then the girl asked me to hang out, whatever. We go get pizza after school. And then she starts telling me that the other guy has my pictures of my body, okay, on his phone. It was genuinely, I don't know how, I think I literally like disassociated like that whole fucking like first month that I was there probably, dude. And then his fucking ex would come up. I didn't even know he lied about like not having an ex. The ex comes up to me, you know, my ex's ex comes up to me and she's like, oh my gosh, like you dated so-and-so? Yeah, like we did it too. And I was like, girl, he did not mention you ever, bruh. And then the girls in my fucking yoga class just like doing the most, like, I don't know. I feel like she's trying to make me jealous or something. Or maybe I was just projecting. I was not in a good place, okay? But yeah, that was the first time I wanted to, literally was completely heartbroken. My heart shattered into a million pieces. It sucked, okay? So trust me, you know, and then from then on, I was like, men ain't shit, whatever the fuck. And then I just viewed men as like not good. The perception I had of men was just so skewed. Especially, you know, my dad, you know, whatever. We got daddy issues, okay? He fucking left, so I had that abandonment wound. All this to say, bitch, I know ball, okay? I used to think like that too. I used to think that men had nothing to offer. I used to think the same shit. I'm not proud of it, but you know what? Unfortunately, those circumstances, like, just, I kept believing that, right? And the more that I told myself, men ain't shit, whatever, they all suck. Guess what, dude? Every fucking where I looked, that's what I kept seeing. So even when a good guy came up to me wanting to actually get to know me and take care of me and whatever the fuck, he actually cared about me, I didn't care because it wasn't aligning with the truth that I fucking made in my own head, which was not a truth. Just because you keep having the same thought over and over again, that is a fucking habit, bitch. That is not true. That is not a fact. It doesn't matter how many times you've repeated it in your head. It is not a truth. That's what is so dangerous about these damn thoughts, is that they are so fleeting. Your thoughts are so fucking fleeting. They're not real, bitch. The same way that one day you can be thinking you're chopped chud, okay, and freaking disgusting and ugly and the fucking fattest bitch on the planet. And then 2 days after, you're fucking looking in the mirror thinking you're the sexiest woman alive and you're feeling amazing, taking a bunch of pictures of yourself like you feel so good. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We have to recognize that these are just thoughts, pensamientos, okay? They are fleeting. They are not real, and they can change. The thing about this, right? The whole thing is just changing your perception, and that is going to take time, okay? Because it took time for you to believe the shit that you believe right now, the shit that you've been telling yourself of like, oh, I'm chopped, or oh, whatever, you know, men ain't shit, and like all this stuff, women are hoes. I'm sure you didn't believe that initially. The first time you heard it, you probably were like, okay, well, not all people, you know, not all whatever. You probably thought that. But the more it was normalized, and then maybe you started watching the videos for a little bit longer when they showed up on your feed, and now the algorithm thinks that, you know, you hate men or something, and then it slowly normalizes that in your brain. And like I said, these things are not based on fact. To say that all men have the same brain and they're all wired to cheat, they're all wired to not be able to give love, proper love and care and respect to a woman, that's fucking bullshit. Your brain can either be a fucking prison or it can be paradise. So you really gotta choose what you think, dude. Like, you can't control an initial thought, intrusive thought of like, oh, you know, this person probably thinks I'm ugly or whatever. Okay, let's say whatever, that thought pops up. You can't control it, right? That thought can pop up, okay? It's kind of out of your hands, like, you know, but let's say you have a negative thought like that. You have the power to decide what you're gonna do next. You can't control what happens to you. Like I said, that is an intrusive thought. You can't really control those. They just pop up. Can you control what you do next with it? Yes, that is 1,000,000% your fucking responsibility. That is 1,000,000% on you. You have complete control over that. What am I gonna think? What is gonna be my next thought? Because now I can generate what my next thought is gonna be. Am I gonna keep saying like, oh yeah, like he probably thinks I'm fucking ugly and chopped and like, it's probably because I'm fat. It's probably because dude, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm the first one, okay, to have like all these fucking thoughts. I'm actively trying to cycle this shit out of my brain because it's just not fucking helpful for anyone. You know what I mean? And then it's like, when I feel ugly, guess what? I literally am gonna continue to do what makes me feel ugly. Like, I'm probably not gonna fucking do my hair. I'm probably not gonna like take care of my skin, or I'm probably gonna eat like shit because I already feel fucking ugly. So it's like, I might as well just fucking make a shit sandwich, you know, if I already started with the fucking nasty ass ingredients. So when you have an intrusive thought like that, just think the opposite, okay? You know what? Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. Also, a truth could be, maybe he doesn't like me, but maybe it's because I'm not his type. It doesn't take anything away from me. Just because you are not someone's type, it doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't mean that you're ugly. It just means that you are not someone's type. Beauty is subjective. Everyone is entitled to be attracted to whatever the fuck they're attracted to. Just changing the way you think about things, just gonna be so helpful for you. And I feel like me puede mi amiga, dude. Like, I really feel for her. It makes me really sad that she has these thoughts, because she tells me like, oh, I wish I could have like a lover girl mentality like you. I wish I could think like you. And I wish I was as hopeful for you when it comes to men. And it's like, bitch, I had to build this shit. I did not always think like this, okay? And then sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, very rarely, but sometimes I'm like, fuck, where are they? You know, like, I know that they're out there, but I'm like, where are they? But it's like, dude, it takes time. It takes time to know. It takes time to know someone. Let's just get the romantic part out of your head. Let's think, okay, you get a brand new coworker and you're like, oh, they seem kind of cool. Maybe I could be friends with them. Okay, let's say one of your values, something that you really cherish in someone, is somebody that is honest, right? Give it 2 months of you regularly seeing this person, this coworker, right? That you're trying to, you know, test the waters to see if you want to be their friends or not. But honesty is a huge thing for you. That's the value you look for in people that you want to surround yourself with. In 2 months, I can assure you, of regularly seeing this person, you're going to be able to kind of gauge if this is an honest person or not. Going on 2 or 3 dates is not it's not really going to give you the information that you need, right? So I value honesty because I feel like if you're honest, you're most likely going to be loyal. If you're honest, you're probably going to keep your word, right? That's very important to me. And these things, you got to see it by action. You can't just, have someone say all these things, that they're all these things. That's great. I would like, it's the whole thing that we're talking about in, I don't know what other video, that it's like, you're not your fucking intentions. Like, I can say all these things, that I'm a great woman, that I'm honest, that I'm like attentive. I can say that I'm very ambitious and, whatever, I go to the gym. I'm none of those things unless I'm actually doing them, and that's the only thing that fucking matters, dude. We can just talk and sit here all day and, talk about our hopes and dreams and everything that we, have in our heads and this illusion that we have of ourselves. You gotta get up and do it, dude. And so that's why it takes time. I think that is the reason why dating apps aren't really working for people, because, you go on a dating app and it's like, oh, what's up? Oh, how's your day? Oh, how are you? Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, where do you work? Oh, yeah. Whatever. I mean, that's a whole nother thing, because I feel like people don't fucking know how to ask questions, and like keep a conversation going. But dude, you have to, and they just end there because it's boring, dude. Like, you gotta really get to know this person. Be their friend, dude. Like, get to know them, ask them questions, be curious. Like, you're trying to see if you're gonna spend a big amount of your fucking time, a big portion of your life with this person. Like, it is crucial to know what kind of person they are, and you're going to know that. You're gonna have a better gauge, right, of how someone is, what they really find important and actually commit to. You're only gonna see that through action, okay? So it's gonna take time. That's why they say you gotta see them in every situation. See them when they're angry, see them when they're stressed out, and see how they act, dude. And you can't wait for the perfect person, but dude, all we need to focus on, honestly, if you want a healthy relationship, I believe that we just gotta focus on someone that they can regulate themselves emotionally, okay? So if they're angry, if they're stressed, they're not gonna fucking blow up and, get crazy and whatever, throw shit. They know how to emotionally regulate themselves. So I don't want someone fucking running to the blunt every time that they face like emotional fucking shit. These things are important. Can they emotionally regulate themselves? Are they emotionally intelligent enough to be able to put themselves in your shoes? Do they have empathy? Okay? Somebody that can do that, you're gold, dude. Like, literally, that is amazing. If you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and be empathetic towards them, somebody that does not constantly victimize themselves. Shit is gonna happen. Like we said, we don't deserve anything, because, if that were the case, good people would get good shit, bad people would get their bad shit. We don't deserve anything. That's out of the fucking picture. What do you do when shit hits the fan? Are you gonna sit here and, oh my God, I'm just gonna give up because fucking everything sucks and this happened to me and whatever? Or are you going to rise up and come out of that situation in whatever way you can, in the best way that you can show up? Because shit is gonna happen, bro. That's promise in this life. Like I said, okay? No one is dealt, an easy life. Everyone has hardships. Everyone has their ups and downs and whatever the fuck. What are you gonna do? Because some shit is gonna come up eventually. So what's gonna happen when shit does hit the fan? How are you gonna react to that? And all of these things, we gotta do it ourselves. First and foremost. That's why I say it is important to have a season of singleness, but intentional singleness. Okay? You gotta be intentional. You gotta be fucking tuning into yourself. Look at okay. I would love for everyone to do some shadow work and journal. I know that is not realistic. I know so many people do not have the mental capacity to sit there and pay attention and do that. I get it. But at least, bro, pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what triggers you. What emotion arises when someone triggers you? What do you see in someone else that annoys you? What can you see? What can you learn about yourself from that? Okay, what can you learn about them from that? Important thing to keep in mind. None of this matters. None of this matters if you are not willing to change your mind. Okay, I have tried with this friend for years. I love her. She has so many great qualities. I love her to death. She has so many great qualities. This one thing is, genuinely probably the biggest thing that pisses me off about her is her mindset when it comes to men, because she feels so stuck in that mindset. And, honestly, if she was like, I don't give a fuck, like, that's what I think and I'm gonna stand by it and I'm not gonna, whatever. That's not the case though. She wants it to be the opposite. Okay. She wants a good man to exist and, be there for her. She is never going to allow that to happen. 10 good men can encounter her in her life, and she's going to turn every single one of them away with that thought process. So until you decide that you do not want to think like that anymore, You gotta decide it, dude. I can't sit here and tell you and give you all the tools and fucking tell you what to look for and tell you what to do and all this stuff. I can tell you, I cannot make you do the damn thing, okay? You can fucking bring a horse to the water, you can't fucking make it drink. You gotta drink yourself. That's what it is. I love her. I wish I could shake her. I wish I could fucking, implement these thoughts and just make her see it from a different point of view. That's why it's so important, dude, to have an open mind and listen to people when they talk to you, okay? Be open to a different point of view, a different perspective. Open your mind to the possibility that maybe you can have a different fucking thought pattern in your brain. You can change it, dude. She didn't always think like this. You know what I mean? I didn't always think. I used to have that same thought process for a long time, dude, for years. And I had to do a lot of work, okay, to get out of that. So I was not always this hopeful, freaking loving person. I really had to. I've made so many mistakes, dude. And that's another thing. Like, you can't be scared of, oh, what if they cheat? Oh, what if, you can have all these things, right? Find someone emotionally intelligent. Find someone that is whatever. All the whole list of values, that are important to you. They can fit everything. You still cannot place all of your you cannot have them as your idol and see them as perfect, dude, because they are still human. They are still human. They're going to fail you more than once. Hopefully not cheating, but like I said, when you kind of weed out these things and you kind of see someone that does have all these traits, it is less likely. The possibility is always there, bro. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect woman. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect man. You do everything for that person. It doesn't matter, bro. We are still human. We still make mistakes, dude. Like, we still suck. We fail ourselves every day. We cannot expect someone else to never fail us. That's fucking impossible. So I really had to think that. I really had to think that because I've already been cheated on. So it's like, okay, with my new thought process, my new mindset of like, okay, not all men suck. And yes, there are some good men. There's no way that there's not a single man on this planet that has a similar mindset to me, wants to just be in a pure, wholesome, loving, honest freaking relationship where we respect each other and give a fuck and care about each other. And we only want, to be with each other. And if anything changes, we're able to have a fucking conversation about it and then figure it out from there. But you cannot put all of your fucking chickens in the basket or eggs in the basket or whatever the hell it's called. You just can't. You can't put this person on a pedestal. That's why you have to be there for you. Okay, you gotta have you because you will be there for yourself forever. That's why it's important. Build the relationship you have within yourself. Trust yourself. We gotta really think about what we want and weigh out everything. Honestly, I lost my train of thought, but I think I was saying some shit about, even if someone cheats on you, like the way I see it now is like, if someone cheats on me, that is a reflection of them because I put my trust in them, and they gave me their word and they broke their fucking word, okay? Because like I said, I'm going to look for someone that is honest. I'm going to look for someone that is loyal and that has the same values that I have and that, I obtain for myself. I'm going to hold the same expectation for them. If they break that, that is on them, bro. That is on them because if I'm keeping it real and if I'm keeping it, I'm like still doing the things I said, that says what that says about me, and then whatever fucking actions they do, that is on them. So you got to make peace with that, okay? Make peace with, yes, you can have, someone that meets all your expectations and they can fall short one day, and like maybe, and then that's where you got to figure it out, okay? Is this mistake or whatever, is it worth staying? Is this person genuinely like who I thought that they are, who they say they are, who they fucking act to be, whatever? I don't know, bro. I mean, that's a whole different situation. That's just situational, right? And that's why it is so important to build these traits within yourself because you cannot, it's kind of like if you're morbidly obese and then you're wanting a gym rat, it's like, I mean, you guys aren't really, your lifestyle isn't really aligned. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta do what you want. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be what you want in someone else. Because it's not fair. How are you gonna sit here and have all these expectations for someone when you don't even hold that standard for yourself? You can't even meet that standard for yourself. So why would you expect someone else to come out and meet your standards? You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, it takes time. It takes time. And you're probably going to have a lot of thoughts pop up, okay? And trying to deconstruct this way of thinking, you're probably going to have a lot of thoughts come up. You got to just push past them and keep it pushing, okay? Keep contradicting these thoughts that you do not want to have anymore. And that goes for everything. There's so many times where I come on here and I'm feeling, chopped, and I just gotta start counteracting. I gotta keep it pushing, okay, bruh? These things are not facts. Like I said, they're thoughts in our brain that are fleeting They're ever changing, bruh. They freaking literally can change within an hour. That's another reason why our actions are so much more telling than what comes out of our freaking mouths, okay? And what pops in our brains, because these things are fleeting. They're always changing, okay? But the shit that we, at our core, we have certain beliefs. So whatever you keep giving your time and actually putting your energy into, that's going to be very telling of what you actually value. That is what we're going to have to be paying attention to in these people. But honestly, dude, it's going to be really helpful if you freaking learn how to have conversations, learn how to ask questions, listen to the other person, listen to the other person from a place of curiosity. Do not be in a conversation listening to somebody waiting for your turn to respond. You're not listening. You're hearing them, you're not listening, okay? You gotta fucking actually lock in, immerse yourself, and get into the other person's mind. And do that with everyone, bruh. Do that with everyone. People are yearning for connection, okay? And for someone to actually give a fuck and make them feel seen and heard. Let's do that. Do that with everyone, okay? Do that with the cashier. Do that with do that with your coworkers, with someone you don't find attractive. Like, dude, you can learn so much from everyone. But when it comes to relationships, yeah, you gotta give it some time. Dig deeper, ask deep questions. Do not be surface level. Like, come on. For what? It's just a waste of time, honestly. But yeah, I feel like there is hope for my friend, dude, because she keeps saying that she hopes that she can change in the future. She hopes that she can, change her mindset. She just really has to, and I can't fix her, right? Like I said, you can bring a horse, a camel to the pond. You can't make them drink the water. I definitely think that she can change this thought process and, actually have a good man in her life. But she has to decide that she does not want to have these same thoughts anymore. And it's very hard because these thoughts are comforting. This is, like I said, we think that this is fucking facts. This is truth. This is Bible, okay? Because we habitually have these thoughts. This is like a freaking ritual of having a pattern of having these thoughts. And so when you're starting to change them, it's going to be uncomfortable because you're now changing your identity. You're no longer identifying yourself with this old version of you. And it's going to feel a little uncomfortable because you're stepping into new territory. It's unfamiliar. The unfamiliar is scary. But how many times, look at your fucking life. How many times have you changed in the past? Look at your style. Look at the music you listen to. Look at the freaking whatever. Like, did you used to be emo? Did you used to be freaking preppy or whatever? Did you used to be an art hoe? Look at these things. Like, you are constantly evolving. You're changing without realizing it, okay? You are literally going to consistently, for the rest of your life, be going through change. Your opinion has probably changed drastically in the last 5 years. If you had a conversation with yourself about certain things, you probably have different opinions. Maybe not crazy, drastic different, but some things, have changed in your brain. And that happened gradually. You didn't even notice probably. So yes, change is scary, but you are going to go through it inevitably. Putting some awareness into it, looking at it and putting the light on it, it's a little scary, but it's happening anyway. So you might as well try to mold that into something that you want. I believe that there is hope, but you gotta decide that you're done thinking like that. Dude, I had to hit that point because I was like, bro, the moment that I was like, dude, there's no way that there are happy couples that genuinely love each other and are freaking good to each other, good people to each other, and they're freaking thriving. And I'm over here thinking that that's impossible and I'm never gonna. It starts with you. You gotta make the decision. Are you done believing this bullshit, dude? Are you ready to start attracting things that you want in your life? Do you want to live a life that you enjoy? We can be doomers all day, but it's like, we can sit here and be doomers all day, but it's not gonna this life is gonna be so miserable, bro. What if you live up to like 85 years old? You're gonna spend so many years just being a doomer. Come on, let's have some hope, okay? Let's have some whimsy. Let's freaking be goofy in this life. Let's just try things. Give it a chance, bruh. Give it a chance, try to be hopeful, try to change, have a more positive outlook on life. It's gonna drastically make you feel better. Just give it some time. Get out of your head. Like I said, have conversations with people. It really does take you out of your own. And be open-minded, okay? Listen to other people. Be open to their perspective of things. Maybe you don't agree with it. That's totally fine. But just know, now you have an awareness that people have this mindset that you never thought of. So many people, we think that even the people we have closest to us that we think that we're very, very similar, they have drastically different thoughts than we do. Like, it is crazy. The way that our brains work and everything is so unique. Genuinely, it is fascinating. Listen to other people. Immerse yourself in their brain, dude. Try to understand like why they see things. It's just crazy, dude. But yeah, dude, I believe in you. If you are trying to get out of this negative thought pattern, if you're trying to want better for yourself in life, I believe in you, dude. It's gonna take some time, okay? But that's fine. The time is gonna pass anyways, okay? So you might as well put in some effort in the time that's passing anyways into something that you actually care about and that you want. You know, we don't deserve anything. We deserve everything and nothing at the same time, but you are worthy enough to give a fuck and put in some effort into something that you want. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, and try to pay someone a compliment today. Try to have a conversation, just literally a simple, how's your day going? What'd you do today? What are you doing this week? It doesn't have to be creepy, you know? We all just want connection, okay? We all want to feel loved. We all want to be seen. We're all craving connection right now. So spread some love, pay a compliment, ask a question, pay attention to what you can learn about other people, what you can learn about yourself. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.